A hush settles over the land. The world, wrapped in white, breathes slowly. It is a time of quiet, of reflection. And yet, beneath the stillness, there is longing, a yearning for warmth, for light, for golden days long past. There was a time when winter, in all its frost-kissed glory, envied summer. Winter watched as the world rejoiced in the golden months, children ran barefoot on warm grass, laughter echoed through beeches, and trees stood tall, bursting with green. In contrast, winter felt like an unwelcome guest, met with sighs and shivers. People wrapped themselves in layers, their hands tucked deep into pockets, their steps quick and hesitant. The wind, ever a traveler, hummed thoughtfully, saying that summer was warmth. It was light. It was freedom. Winter sighed. It tried to mimic summer's touch. It painted the sky with pale sunlight, but it lacked the golden embrace. It let rivers run smooth, but only in hardened ice. It laid blankets over fields, but they were cold and white, not soft and green. Still, winter had its own magic. It wove intricate lace upon window panes and sculpted quiet beauty from the breath of the sky. It stilled the world, wrapping it in a hush that no other season knew. Fires glowed brighter, homes felt cozier, and in the crisp silence, hearts turned inward, seeking, reflecting, resting. But winter did not see these gifts. It only saw what it lacked. Then one day, an old tree, standing bare yet resolute, said without words that it loved winter, even without leaves and flowers. It grew because of winter, resting, gathering strength, reaching higher when spring arrived. Winter listened. Then it saw. It saw how children's eyes gleamed at the sight of the first snowfall. How families huddled closer, cherishing warmth. How stillness was not emptiness, but space, space for quiet joys, for stories told by firelight, for a world that did not rush, but simply was. Winter smiled, no longer wishing to be summer. For every season holds a joy of its own. And the world would be less without it. Yet, winter wanted to see more, to understand more. It wandered through the mountains, watching how the snow nestled into the peaks, making them shimmer under the moonlight. It danced across frozen lakes where skaters carved their joy into its icy surface. Then winter drifted to the villages, where children built snowmen with carrot noses and coal-black eyes. It listened to the songs of merriment, voices rising in harmony as people celebrated the holidays, stringing lights to make the long nights brighter. Winter realized it wasn't just about cold and ice, it was about warmth within the cold. In one quiet town, an elderly woman sat by her window, watching the snowfall. She smiled, as if reminded to slow down, to cherish the hush between moments. Winter felt something new then, pride. It may not have been summer, but it had a purpose all its own. And that was enough. As winter continued its journey, it ventured into the deep forests, where animals had burrowed into the earth, their breath steady in peaceful slumber. It marveled at the resilience of the creatures who thrived in its embrace, the fox leaping through the snow, the owl gliding in silent flight, the deer stepping gracefully across a frozen brook. It wandered to the great oceans, where icebergs stood like castles of glass, reflecting the pale light of the sun. It listened to the whispers of the waves, which said their cold beauty was just as mesmerizing as summer's roaring surf. Winter then ventured further, seeking the places where it was most loved. In the far north, it met the auroras, ribbons of color dancing across its night sky, painting the heavens with hues summer could never hold. Winter watched in awe, realizing its skies held a wonder all their own. In a tiny mountain village, it found a child, her cheeks rosy, arms outstretched, catching snowflakes on her tongue. She spun in delight, loving winter for what it was. Winter felt warmth, not from the sun, but from the hearts that cherished its presence. Winter traveled even deeper, to lands where its presence was life-giving. In the mountains, where the spring's rivers were born from its melting snow. In the valleys, where the frost protected the seeds, ensuring the earth could bloom again. Winter wandered across frozen tundras, where reindeer trudged through the snow, resilient and steadfast. It followed the path of migrating birds, watching as they soared south, knowing they would return when its time had passed. It paused by an icy river, where a fisherman carved a hole in the ice, waiting patiently for his catch. Without winter, the fish would not gather beneath the ice. Its cold made the harvest rich. Winter then journeyed to the highest peaks, where climbers braved its cold to conquer the mountains. They faced its winds, its storms, and yet, they found joy in the challenge. They became stronger because of winter. And finally, winter arrived at the threshold of spring, where the first buds of flowers peeked through melting frost. Spring welcomed winter's wisdom, saying that because of winter, the world awakened stronger. Winter had found peace. And now, I ask you, have you ever longed to be something you're not? Have you ever compared yourself to another, not realizing the beauty in your own existence? Perhaps, like winter, we all need a reminder that our value is not in what we lack, but in what we bring to the world. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more heartfelt tales and reflections. And share your thoughts in the comments below. What is your favorite part of winter? I'd love to hear from you.